Previously on the Ultimate Cowboy Showdown.
Attaboy.
After talking a lot of game, Buck finally won an immunity bucket.
Time.
Good job. Outstanding.
Good job, Buck.
On the green team, Jamon continued to be the target.
Today I proved myself, Jamon proved that he doesn't know how to read cattle. I have said it time and time again, he needs to go home.
In the team challenge, Coy began to question Stephen Yellowtail's leadership.
You want to wait and do those calves last? I mean, they can't go too far in here.
No. I just think it'd be easy, just let them calves come out of the chute first and just be right there, rope them, and tie them down, and then we don't got to worry about them.
So Stephen Yellowtail right now just thinks he's the leader. He wants to talk above everybody. He does not give respect when respect is due, and I'm tired of it.
But it was Sarah's lack of hustle and incorrect math.
Surprised me she didn't ride her old horse over here.
I'd have rode my horse over.
Yes, sir.
Sarah ain't been on her horse hardly at all.
No, it's cost them a lot of time. They need help.
Yeah. That led to the blue team losing and sent her packing.
Sorry, Sarah.
That's crazy.
Back to person.
Yep.
Hit the trail.
Unbelievable.
And now, only 5 remain. Who will ride on, and who will be sent home in the next elimination? Only one will take home the $50,000 worth of cattle, the air-equipped 87 Series Q-Catch cattle chute, and their new Healer portable corral. Who will win the Ultimate Cowboy Showdown?
I woke up this morning and I'm in the top 5. So that's a big deal. We started off with 14 of us. You know, this immunity buckle challenge is super important. It's the very last one. This time it's every man for himself.
I'm one of 2 guys in the top 5 that haven't won an immunity buckle. I just need a day to just know I'm safe, especially after the last challenge.
Morning, Cowboys.
Morning.
There's only 5 of you left. And this is your final Outlaw Spirit Immunity Buckle Challenge. And it's the most important one. There are no more teams. Now, cutting a cow from the herd and using your horse to keep it separated from the other cattle is something each of you should be great at. Today, we're gonna find out who's the best. Each of you will have 10 cows, 5 with gold tags, 5 with blue tags. You're gonna put the blue tags in the blue pen. You're gonna put the gold tags in the gold pen. Your job is to get this done as efficiently and quickly as possible. And who does that the fastest will get this Outlaw Spirit Immunity Buckle. Simple as that.
I'm pretty excited about this challenge. It's gonna test the cowboy's skills on reading cattle and his horsemanship. Your horse really is your #1 partner, you know, especially if you gotta go sorting on cattle. So I brought a 3-year-old I call Banker, and you know, he's got a heart of gold, and he's my buddy. He's with me day in, day out. I started him. He's came up all the way. I've rode him for 2 years now, and this should be my forte, you know? I mean, I do this for a living.
All right, Jamon, you're first. Give me 5 blue, 5 gold.
Put this gold in here. Go ahead, open it. Okay, close it.
You know, Jamon goes first, and he's trying to sort 1 cow at a time and put them in the pens. That takes way too much time. That just goes to show that he doesn't do a lot of open field sorting.
It doesn't really bother me to go first. My strategy today is I'm gonna try to move a couple at a time. If I can get 4 or 5 at a time, that'd be awesome. If I can't, then I'll try to work at 2 or 3.
Trace, what do you think? Think he's got it going on right here?
Isn't that 2 gold, Terry?
I think that's 2 gold, yes, sir.
That's the way to do it, 2 at a time.
Oh, yeah. And open it.
Don't miss one right here, because you got
Yeah.
it set up to finish right here.
Yeah.
Take it.
Get over there. Oh,
Good job.
Now he's letting all the other cows out. He's getting himself in the jam here.
Usually when you're working, the man on the gate knows his job. He doesn't let anything go back by. I keep forgetting, this is not day working, this is a competition. I definitely forgot to tell him, hey, close that gate back. So some of my cows start walking out.
Close it real quick.
Little mistakes like this will cost a man for sure.
Leaving that gate open was a big mistake by Jamon. With only 1 gold tag left in the pen, Jamon's gonna have to work fast if he wants to win this challenge.
Hurry, hurry. Okay, close this, open your blue one for me, please.
all right. Looks like he's gonna get all the gold this time.
The only bad thing about going first is that everybody else got to see that mistake.
He's making some quick work of getting those blue tags in.
Close it, hurry, girl.
We'll announce the times at the end. Each cowboy needs to go as fast as they can. This ain't a beauty pageant. Buck's up next.
You know, this should be his game. Time starts now.
So this whole competition, best time wins. So you have to be a pretty good hand and be able to read cattle and set up the situation so it's a success.
Buck's taking a different approach. He's gonna try and sort a group of the same color tags out in the open instead of going one or two at a time.
I want to angle them to that back right corner because that's the only 90-degree corner that I have, and I can hold them up there pretty easily.
I think he's gonna try to load all blue at once.
He's got all the blue tags together, but one gold tag's mixed in. Let's see what his plan is to get it out.
I had to be a little patient right there and just kind of let those cattle flow to me a little bit. And when she got on the outside,
Blue tags.
Kurt opened the gate, and they just flowed in there like silk.
Yeah, 5 was a good strategy, but I think it's time to abandon the strategy.
Yeah.
Waiting for that gold tag took a lot of time. He needs to hustle now and get the rest of the golds and drive them to their pen.
Come on, y'all want to move somewhere. Now y'all move.
Watching Buck go, I could tell he was not going fast enough. He's treating this like he's at the maturity right now, showing his horse, riding it, this, that, and the other. Time is of the essence. If everybody goes this slow, I'll be tickled pink.
Hey. Delegate.
That's time.
I'm pretty confident that I beat Demond just for the simple fact that I had so few trips to the pens. Sure, I had some trouble with that yellow tag cow, but, you know, I'm pretty confident in it.
Today's my first day to come back and actually get on Big John after our big fall the other day. Look at them boys riding, too. Whoop and ride, Coy, whoop and ride.
He is smoking down through there.
So Big John, he's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of animal. You don't get him every day, and he's a pal. You know, I have a big personality. He has a big personality, and we just work so well together. And he's heard a lot of sermons. You know, there's many a mile we rode together that I've just had him to talk to, and boy, have I talked his ears off. We was just kind of meant to kind of find each other and do this cowboy lifestyle together. And we're gonna go out there and we're gonna win this immunity buckle today. This is the most important one, and I'm gonna take it home.
All right, Court. Time.
Gold. When you're up against the clock, you have to work fast and do your job. That's all it comes down to. You can take one cow to the pen a whole lot faster than sorting 5, trying to push 5 down there. Blue.
He's riding a little harder in the first two.
Yeah.
He's just cutting them out.
Yeah.
As they come.
Shut your gate.
And letting them do the work. That's a smart move right there.
Take the cows that want to go, put them in the pen. That way, once those cows fit in the pen, the ones in the back that don't want to go, they're herd animals. They have that herd instinct. They want to go to those other animals. Shut your gate.
All right, Coy.
Go now.
Hey, girls, you can eat when you get done. You can eat when you get done. Hey.
He's smart right here, and he's gonna take the lead, looks like to me.
Coy only has 3 gold tags left.
Go gate. Hey, shut your gate, shut your gate, shut your gate.
Time.
Woo! He got that gate closed, and I just wanted to throw my hat in the air and turn around and tell them boys, that is how you pin these cattle. That is how you have a sense of urgency about this.
Next up is Sal.
You know, I want to win this competition more than anybody here. I have the biggest heart and the most dedication. I'm doing everything these guys are doing with 2 hands. I'm doing it with 1. I have to come out on top.
Hey.
Man, he had him looking right there. He just needed good driving and didn't do a very good job right there.
Hey, cow. Hey, cow. Hey, cow. Look for the hole. Come on. Look for the hole. Come on.
Sal's trying to do what Coy did, but the cattle are not cooperating.
I had to recoup myself, kind of start over.
Hey. Okay, he's got them all.
After some chaos, he's managed to get all the gold tags in a group and in the pen.
Open the blue gate.
We can get these. Yeah. They're doing pretty
Chance,
good.
yeah.
Hey, girls. Hey, girls. Hey, girls. Hey, girls.
Now he's rushing to get the blue tags in.
Close the gate.
Good job.
Time stops now.
I knew Coy was pretty fast, and I hope I'm just a little bit faster.
This will be different for Yellowtail because nothing Yellowtail's been very fast. See if he can adjust right here.
After watching Coy, I have to step it up. When you're sorting cows, it's chess, not checkers. My original plan was to do similar to what Buck did. Blue gate, please. Hold them in the back, peel off 5 at a time, and pin them all at once.
There you go, you got him 4.
Shut the gate, please.
Stephen Yellowtail has 4 of the 5 blue tags pinned. He's moving slow, but with purpose.
He's got them sorted off. We can keep that red cow down there by herself. There he comes.
He's got his 5 gold tags headed to the pen.
Here he goes. Shut this gate,
This is
please.
gonna be real close.
Open the blue. I have 1 left to go. Hey, shut it. She draws and pens herself. Boom, time. Good job, late brother. I think I gave Coy a run for his money, but I think I got him.
All right, Cowboys, that was fun for us to watch. We all kind of agreed that Stephen Yellowtail, you might have the smoothest, prettiest run, but this ain't a beauty pageant.
It comes down to speed.
So the times, Sal was 5:06, Jamon was 6:43, and Buck was 7:12.
The fact that Jamon got better time to me, you know what? My hat's off to him. He needs all the help he can get.
Today's fastest times are between Stephen Yellowtail and Coy. One of you was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and the other one, 2 minutes and 45.
Let's do this. Coy, you were 15 seconds faster than Stephen Yellowtail.
Thanks, sir.
15 seconds.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Good job.
I am just so disappointed right now, man. I wanted that. So, you know, in case it comes down to the very end when the judges and Trace are making their decision, that's one thing they can hold against me is I don't have an immunity buckle.
All right, you're safe from elimination.
I've won a whole lot of buckles in my lifetime, but this one right here kind of means the most to me right now. And being safe from that elimination is one step closer to those $50,000 worth of cattle.
All right, good job, everybody. I'll see y'all later.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This buckle means the world to me because it is the last immunity buckle. And I think that has a lot to prove about the way I've played this competition the whole time. And I'm just thankful for my horse. He seriously could have been injured. He's one of the best horses around. You know, I'm really proud of him. So when it comes down to winning that $50,000 worth of cattle, you know, every young country kid or cowgirl or cowboy, you know, they love going to feed cows with their mom and dad. And just to have my girls with me going out there to feed my own cattle and just be able to tell my girls, Daddy went to Wyoming, he spent a lot of time away from us, and he put everything he had into this just so we could spend this time together and just so we could have extra food on our plates right now. You know, putting shoes on those babies' feet is what it comes down to. And at the end of the day, you know, that builds a fire in a cowboy's heart right there, that next generation. You know, helping build your family and building your lifestyle together like that. It's unbeatable.
Sal, I believe Jamon darn sure doesn't have the kind of attitude to win this.
If there's a bad spot, we can put him.
I've thought about it too, trying to come up with a strategy to where he really fails.
You think he don't respect you as a cowboy, or you think it's just gamesmanship?
Fear.
Fear, did you say?
Yeah. What's up, Uncle Buck?
Well, you know good, Yellowtail. How'd you feel about that immunity challenge?
Coy was the last person I wanted to have the immunity buckle. He's so lucky all his cows weren't wandering or trying to, but good for him, man.
Yeah.
But you know what, I'm proud of what I did. Just all a guy can do, but.
Yeah, the yours by far was the smoothest.
No, thank you.
Most well executed. I think you're right though, Coy just got lucky.
I just gotta reassure myself. I need to tell myself, like, you know what you're doing, you're here for a reason, go do it.
Man, like, marrying my wife, that was what really kind of changed me, and waking up in the morning and looking at myself in the mirror and saying, you know what, you the baddest son of a gun on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And when you believe that, you're a wolfy son of a gun.
Yep.
And there's nothing cocky or arrogant about that.
Yep.
That's confidence.
Yep.
There's a fine line in between them. But when you have somebody else depending on you in life, you know, as a provider, and, you know, we run our own business together, but I know my wife believes in me, and I believe in her, And she has totally transformed me into the man that I want to be. And man, having that kind of support in your life, that really pays off. So right now, you know, I'm a horse trainer for a living, and I don't own any cattle, and it's always been my dream one day to be able to ride horses all day and own cattle. So this competition just sets me up to where I just keep doing what I'm doing in the horse training, but actually have them cattle to where when me and Emily start a family, those kids can grow up around cattle and know the work ethics and know what goes into it, because that's the best way to grow up.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, and I mean, that's why I came here. I'm here for Chelsea, you know, she's been my girlfriend for 3 years, and I want to marry her, and this is a chance to make that happen, you know. Rings aren't cheap, as you know.
Yep.
You know, she's been there for me through everything. She's wanting to ride, she's wanting to rope, and, you know, she really wants to brand calves and then start rodeoing too, you know. She wants to head steers and then breakaway, and her motivation reminds me of what it was like for me when I was little, you know, being the little kid, and you grow up watching the old men there on the crew, you know, and like, wow, man, that's what I want. My last name, Yellowtail, is short for hawk with yellowtail feathers. That was my great-great-grandfather who the family name comes from, and that name was ultimately shortened down to Yellowtail, and it's a name that I wear with honor. I've had so many great leaders in our family, and you know, one of them is my grandfather, sees with his ears. He was such a role model for me, and you know, I try and live my life by his example and that he set for us. I'm here to win, to provide for my girlfriend, to win this deal, and hey, get a marriage out of it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
May the best cowboy win.
And as the city folks say, giddy up.
I gotta get saddled.
Yeah, me too.
It's a new morning at Powderhorn Ranch, and the nerves are real for our 4 Cowboys that don't have immunity. Since there are no longer teams, this alters the strategies, and alliances are more important than ever.
Man, good job out there.
Thank you. I was rooting for you.
Yeah. Now it puts me in a tight spot, though, you know.
Sal, I want you to be safe from elimination. I don't want your head on the chopping block. So, Jamon, that guy, he's super competitive, but he has no right to be here.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't. I believe Jamon doesn't have the experience, and he darn sure doesn't have the kind of attitude to win this.
If there's a bad spot, we can put him.
Yeah.
Where we know we can't control it or handle it.
I've thought about it too, trying to come up with a strategy to where he really fails, because he's made several huge mistakes that you don't need to make. That, and he's argued with Trace and the judges. We both agreed that Jamon needs to go home. I'm gonna talk to Stephen Yellowtail here in a little bit, and we're all gonna kind of come up with a plan to gang up on Jamon and send him home. No, Sal, you're gonna be just fine.
Yeah, I hope so, because I ain't ready to go home. Winning this competition, I would be the first cowboy in my family to own cattle, and I don't want my kids to ever have to worry where their food's coming from, or if they're ever gonna have a roof over their head. You know, this line of work, you don't get paid a lot, and me and my family, you know, we struggle a lot. Being able to win this would give us that one paycheck. If I leave here empty-handed, that's gonna be devastating, because me being away from my kids owes that all for if I don't take home the prize. So whenever we get to the final 3, I want you to be there, and that way I can beat you fair.
Yes, sir, you bet. Me, you, and Yellowtail. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I think it's pointless to have somebody hop off and just go hold that
No, that's
gate.
what I'm saying. I just think you should go now.
No, man, I'm not with that. I'm not gonna be that person.
Okay.
I'm not gonna stand there and just wait on the gate. It's not happening.
This is not the first time that these boys have tried to set me up in a bad position. I'm not doing that. What's up?
All right, Cowboys, with only 5 of you left, there'll be no more teams. You'll be working together, but I'm watching you all individually. Who takes charge? Who wants this? We're in Wyoming, the heart of buffalo country.
Millions of wild buffalo once roamed the American West. They populated the continent long before anyone settled here. Today, about 20,000 buffalo roam wild, including right here in Wyoming.
These are giant, fast, unpredictable beasts.
Weighing up to 2,400 pounds, they can move up to 35 miles an hour.
They're hard to wrangle and control. This is where we'll see if you know how to isolate a buffalo like Kevin Costner did in Dances with Wolves.
There's no better feeling than having a muni buckle right now. Just because, who wants to pin buffalo?
In our challenge, 4 buffalo have gotten mixed up in your prize herd. There'll be 2 in the first pen that you have to get out and get into the next pen where there'll be 2 more. Then you have to get all 4 buffalo out of that pen and drive them to the waiting trailer. Helping me keep a watch on y'all, Buddy Snofford, Cash Myers. Now, everything you do will be taken into account during the elimination. Clear?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Well, I tell you, from my previous experience with buffalo, if they figure out how to hook your horse and they can get away with it, they'll do it every time. I hate buffalo with a passion. Buffalo are really dangerous. I mean, I had one, he got me stomped down on the ground. When I stood up, that sucker reached up and cow kicked me as hard as he could and broke 3 ribs, you know? I mean, these suckers, they are not to play with.
It's gonna make it pretty sketchy, having to go in such a small pen and work such wild animals.
Any other you guys worked them before?
Never. I know for a fact my horse has never seen a buffalo before, so this ought to be interesting.
They'll go through you, under you. It don't matter what's in their way.
You know, treat them like a wild cow, but they got some hooks on them.
Our tribe has a herd of buffalo, you know, and they are in what is called the buffalo pasture, which is up in the Bighorn Mountains. So going into this, I'm very confident. You know, I got to come back really strong today.
It looks like they're kind of wanting to sort themselves out. I think first things first, send a guy to this gate, then when they pull out, just let them go off on their own.
I would say push those cows over there to that corner, and you're the furthest away from them. And guys, do not try to step in front of them. Whatever experience that you have with cattle, forget it. Those buffalo, they are whole different creatures.
I honestly think once we get them in the alley, we need to have a guy get off, put his horse somewhere safe, get that gate shut right away.
This challenge, I think, is very doable. I think it's a chance to, you know, redeem myself. It's just gonna come down to who wants it the most.
When we run them with this panels, are you guys thinking like just send 2 across halfway to make a wall once we get them up here and then put some more panels behind them so at least we don't gotta, you know, it's something in their eye to keep them from turning around.
And no matter what, when we get those 4 buffalo out of that corner gate down there, all 5 of us have to build a wall.
Yeah, once they figure out they can get by you, it's done.
You know, every situation, these boys never listen to me. I keep telling them all these suggestions, but for some reason, it just goes in one or out the other. This has been happening since day 1. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm not on the sideline and that I am there holding holes.
Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna be on this gate and who's gonna be pushing down the alley, get off their horse? Anybody wanna volunteer?
Yeah, I can go. I'll get this gate first. Just give them that hole to go in. You know? You know, every day I have to come out here and try my hardest. But this time, I'm gonna have to try extra hard. I've been around buffalo a little bit, worked them a little bit, but I need to make sure that I show the judges I'm meant to stay.
Be safe, guys. First things first, be safe.
All right, Cowboys, let's get those 4 buffalo in this trailer.
There's dang sure an element of danger here, you know? Buffalo can run 30 miles per hour one way, turn around on a dime and come back at you without slowing down. If one of these buffalo get mad or angry, we're trapped in there with them.
I'm gonna run get the gate, looks like. See what your plan is here.
Tell Coy they're gonna go try to hold them up. They got an eye on the buffalo. The cows, they don't want nothing to do with them buffalo no more than anybody else does. Here they come.
Coy and Stephen Yellowtail showing no fear in pushing those buffalo right across to the next pen.
Good job, guys. Now they're nice and easy, good and smooth.
We'll push them back down. They're right there with those other 2 right there.
Yep, little big calves.
Let's see who steps up here.
Sal, all them gates in there look good?
Yeah, they look all right.
Now they're out in front. We should probably let them come back around the other side, huh?
Same plan for this pen. They're going quick and pushing the buffalo out, which is the right move.
Steven, you want to ride up and push these cows back? That way we can go ahead and roll them around.
Build a fire behind them, get them moving, and drive them to where they need to go.
Buck was stepping up as leader, but now is behind the pack. Scared of the buffalo?
I'm thinking we should pull these around the side and let them buffalo come down this side.
What are you thinking, Buck?
It's kind of frustrating because I don't think that values me as an asset, but I know for a fact when it comes to chopping block, they're gonna throw me under the bus.
That one little yearling, he's wanting to come out of there. Y'all create that hole. There you go.
Yep. Sal, open that gate, get out of
Open
the
the
way.
gate, Sal. Get the heck out of the way.
Here it comes,
Okay.
Sal.
They got the buffalo sorting themselves out of the herd.
There to go.
They have all 4 buffalo in the last pen before bringing them down the alley and into the waiting trailer.
That was cool.
Heck yeah.
Hey man, so once we get them going down this alley, I think it's pointless to have somebody hop off and just go hold that
No, that's
gate.
what I'm saying. I think you should go now.
No, man, I'm not with that. I'm not gonna be that person. I'm not gonna stand there and just wait at the gate. It's not happening.
This is not the first time that these boys have tried to set me up in a bad position.
Let's come up with another plan though where we can all be useful.
And now I feel like everybody's ready to throw me under the bus. So, hey, all fingers are pointing at me, but you know what? I have just as much talent, dang sure more grit and determination than anybody here. I mean, I grew up in a place that all fingers were always pointed at me. This ain't nothing different. What's up?
You have to have your head on a swivel because they are going to run you completely over.
I think you should go now.
No, man, I'm not with that. I'm not gonna be that person.
Okay.
I'm not gonna stand there and just wait at the gate. It's not happening.
This is not the first time that these boys have tried to set me up in a bad position.
Let's come up with another plan though where we can all be useful. For one man to sit here and wait when we need all of us, push them down the alleyway doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. They don't seem like they want to fight too much.
All right, well then one of y'all grab the gate.
Jamon flat refused, which was smart on his part. You know, I was setting him up there and he saw through it. But still, at the end of the day, that was a job that needed done. I'll go do it.
They don't seem too wild or too crazy. Once they head off and they go, they're gonna go. You can just go ahead and push them, get the gates closed, and once we get them kind of pushed up there, grab those 2 panels and set them up.
I'm gonna take my position to show these judges I'm here to be the ultimate cowboy. I'm not here to sit back riding my horse. I'm here for one reason and one reason only, and that's $50,000 worth of cattle and that air-equipped equipment.
Sal, you're coming with me to set up panels?
Okay.
They're putting up panels to keep the buffalo from turning back. Not that a light panel like that'll do much if a buffalo charges at it.
Man, I think we should slide these back further. I would just have more room to play versus get them all, because you gotta figure there's gonna be 5 of us in here.
I say let's do this. Let's leave these here, tie these up, go get our arrow clips, and make another one further back.
I got you. All right.
How come we're getting them so far back?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. That's a little bit far
I'm
back.
gonna move them on up here, I think.
'Cause right here is where they're gonna fight us the most.
Hey, one of y'all wanna help me grab some of these panels? And bring a tie string, Buck.
I don't have one. Y'all got a tie string?
I don't remember Kevin Costner having a set of panels.
Here, you got it? Or?
Yep.
Attaboy, Coy.
Even though Coy has immunity, he's been hustling and showing no fear.
And this one kind of swings a little bit.
Has anyone got another tie string?
Yeah. How are we gonna tie our gates if we're trying to keep buffalo without tie strings? I start ripping them off my saddle, we're tying them in places they need to go. That was saving grace, just having those tie strings. Otherwise, we would have had buffalo pushing on fences.
Pull it.
Okay.
Here, I
'Cause
got-
it's wired, but if they push on
Here you
that,
go.
Yeah,
they're
no.
gonna spill.
They're ready to bring some buffalo up here now.
Everybody here? Everybody ready?
Bring it to them.
They're all gonna have to go fast and hard to get these buffalo in the trailer. They can't take their foot off the gas now.
Get to that gate.
Good job, Corey, right there, stopping getting the gates.
You have to have your head on a swivel because they are going to run you completely over.
Hey, let him see it, let him see it, let him see
Coy's showing no fear.
So whenever we get the panels closed, these guys jump out and get on the fence on the side. When they turn those buffalo to run back to me, guess what? I'm sitting there and I'm holding my ground. I'm the only one sitting here holding these buffalo from coming out. But heck, I'm fighting for it so I can have something for my girls. And I'm gonna tell Trace that. These guys, they don't wanna fight. They're scared.
Wow, Coy's in a tight spot right here. He's behind that gate. That gate's not strong enough to hold that buffalo when he comes to hook him.
Let him sit.
Hey, if y'all wanna let them sit right there, just move these panels up to them.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Move the panels up to him.
Watch your back,
Watch your
guys.
back. Hey, just settle down. Just settle down. They're not bad. I tell these guys we're sitting back there, let's take these panels and put them close to that trailer so we can crowd them into the trailer. If you'll tie that, we can work these gates, put this gate up, and put this gate behind it, and then have them beat in right there. You are fighting for your life right here. Guess what? I'm gonna bring the fight to these buffalo.
This is where it can get dangerous. Those buffalo will break right through those gates.
Hey guys, just be careful that we don't jump them over this here. If you put pressure when they're looking here, they're gonna jump out.
All right, hold on.
Let him sit for a second. Let him see the hole.
There they go. There they go.
Hold on. Good job, guys. Good job.
All right, y'all, good job. Really good job. I'll see you in the arena after a while. Somebody will go home.
Sir. I hope we get to eat one of these suckers afterwards.
I wish I would have been a little grittier. I'm not gonna deny that. I wish I would have stayed right there in the fight instead of jumping the fence.
I wish you would have too.
Right now, I have the immunity buckle. This is what's gonna push me through all the way to the end. Everybody's going against each other at this point. It's no longer a friendship, camaraderie thing. I am the ultimate cowboy, no matter if I'm wearing this immunity buckle or not, and I'll have something to say at the end of the night in the elimination.
Well, I tell you, man, like the horses you ride, the saddles you ride, the way you talk, I can tell you're the real deal, you know? So that's the kind of guys I want to somewhat band up with, you know? Because I want to see me and you in the final three.
Absolutely.
You know, go head to head then, you know?
Ultimately, it's out of my control about who should go home, who I want to go home. You know I can't get rid of Coy in this challenge, but you know, who's the next common denominator that we think should go home?
Who do you think should go home?
I tell you, I think Jamon needs to go home.
Jamon?
He went to arguing. That's the low man's job. How about stepping up and saying, you know what, my horse is a little skittish of these, and if I abandon my hole like I've done the buck several times, that's probably the best place where I need to be. The person that should be the most pressure would be Jamon, because Stephen Yellowtail asked him to go get behind that trailer gate for whenever those buffalo come up there and loaded in that trailer, he'd be right there and could shut that gate immediately. And Jamon told him, no, I ain't doing that, that's the low man's job. Well, you know what? When you need to do a job, you step up and you do it. You do not complain.
I'm walking into this elimination pen tonight, thinking about everything that happened today. Every place that I knew I was supposed to be that I was, every decision that I made. There's really not a lot I can do at this point. I just hope that the judges seen it the same way that I did. So I'm just gonna keep my fingers crossed that I was not or did not look like a moron and that we did our job efficiently.
Good evening.
Evening.
So,
Y'all did a good job in the challenge today, so there's no major fault there. This decision is going to come down to your whole time here.
Coy, you've got the immunity buckle. Tell me a minute overall how you think it went, how'd everybody do?
When it come down to getting those buffalo right there at the trailer, it seemed like everybody just panicked.
You stayed right in the middle the whole time. The bad spot.
Yes, sir.
I was very proud of you, Coy.
So Coy, you had the immunity buckle today, but As far as I'm concerned, you didn't need it. You wouldn't have gone home anyway. So before you sit on the fence, who ought to go home?
For me, it's Stephen Yellowtail, just for the fact of the matter, he stood behind that trailer gate the whole time and didn't get in the middle of the fight, where the rest of these guys, they were on the fence and they were trying to push it.
Stephen Yellowtail. Okay, go sit on the fence. You're safe from elimination. Okay, 4 of you here. Somebody's gonna go home. Okay, 4 of you here. Somebody's gonna go home. Let me start with you, Stephen, since he brought your name up. How do you feel about Coy calling you out? What do you think that's about?
I'm not surprised. I don't know. Him and Sarah, they were together on getting me out from the, last few challenges. I'm not surprised he called me out at all.
Well, what do you think he's doing it? You think he don't respect you as a cowboy, or you think it's just gamesmanship?
Gamesmanship, fear,
Trying to get rid of competition?
Absolutely.
Fear, did you say?
Yeah. He called me out for getting that gate. Originally, I asked Jamon to get the gate. Reason being, his horse was the only one that showed any fear of them buffalo, and that's nothing against Jamon. But I asked him, when we go to bringing these cattle down the alley, if they do turn and want to try us, and they didn't, his horse would be the first to weaken and expose a hole. So, my thinking was, if you're the guy that gets the gate, so our horses aren't afraid, we might hold that line a little stronger. He argued and against it, said that was a low man's job. To me, it was something that needed to be done, and so I volunteered to go get that gate.
Yeah, my horse never seen buffalo before, but, I had faith in her, or else I would have took a lower hole. But what was I gonna do? Stand there while everybody else is working? That didn't make sense to me.
That wasn't saying, hey, you're the low man. That's saying, hey, like, your horse is a little bit skittish, you're going down that alley and he turns around, you leave a hole open. You could classify that as a low man's job, but it's an important job.
I have to agree with that. Somebody had to be on that trailer gate.
I've seen these boys throw me under the bus. I'm not gonna get standing there holding my fingers. It wasn't happening. When we were pushing them buffalo, I was in front of the pack, pushing them with everybody else. I looked to my left and the right, nobody horses was ahead of me. Me and Sal are the only 2 people who brought tie ropes. How are we gonna tie these panels and anything if nobody's coming prepared? You go to class without your stuff, your teacher's sending you home.
Is that right, Buck? You didn't bring no tie rope?
No, sir.
You didn't think you were gonna have to tie a buffalo?
No, sir. Tie a buffalo down?
Well, then maybe tomorrow we'll make y'all do that.
That's right. Need to do something.
So as soon as we get out of that pen, I know I've had my butt chewed several times. If you do not shut a cut gate, they're going right back to where they came. And I guarantee you, those buffalo, if you let them go back to where they came from, we was gonna have heck getting them out. So I took it upon myself. I said, you know what? I'll grab that cut gate, because this is a job. I don't believe that there was any weak position that you could have been at this job. Every part needed doing. You know what? If that's the low man's job, I'll take it, because I was not gonna let those buffalo go back to where they was.
When you got up to the trailer and you started putting those panels up, what happened then?
Those buffalo, when they kind of went to whirling on us, and I wish I would have been a little grittier. I'm not gonna deny that. I wish I would have stayed right there in the fight instead of jumping the fence.
I wish you would have too.
Yes, sir.
I wish you'd stayed on that side of the fence with everybody else. Okay, Sal, why don't you have anything to say?
I don't know. I was watching them buffalo. I wasn't watching nobody else, and so I just wanted to make sure we had them up there. That way they weren't gonna be trying to run over us.
What I meant was, why aren't you saying anything, Sal? You just don't say much. You don't step out in that leadership role like I need you to, and say something. Sound off. Let your opinion be heard, and let these people understand that you're here to compete and win this thing.
Yes, sir.
All right. There's 4 of you here, but who wants to be here?
Right here.
Me, sir.
I want to be.
Ron's hand went up first. Why should you be the ultimate cowboy, Jamon?
I'm grittier than anybody out here. Like, I've been gritty. I jumped down there, helped out, put my horse in the pen. When you're talking about us climbing on the fence, I never went over the fence. Yes, I jumped up on the fence. I've never worked buffalo, but I never went over that fence. The second they passed me, my foot touched the dirt.
Stephen Yellowtail, why should you be the ultimate cowboy?
I've stepped in that leadership role. I knew the consequences of doing that, but time and time again, I've done it to prove to all three of you standing here, you know, I'm not afraid to stick my neck out there, and I've had good plans, and I've also been able to follow. You know, today I had the initial plan, bounced ideas off of Buck, and I followed too.
Buck, why should you be the ultimate cowboy?
You know, in several competitions, I wasn't necessarily the most loudest speaking person out there, but when I said something, I stood behind it, and 9 times out of 10, I was correct.
Sal, why should you be the ultimate cowboy?
Well, Chase, I got more heart and more grit than anybody here. And I say that because I'm out here doing a two-handed man's job. And I do it with one hand doing it. I'm the smallest guy here, and I can keep up with the best, and I'm not afraid to do nothing. I'm not using it as an excuse to get it done.
I don't disagree with anything you just said. There are 2 of you here that have never won an immunity buckle. That's you and Stephen Yellowtail.
Yes, sir.
That's an issue for me.
But Stephen Yellowtail's put himself out there in a leadership role time after time after time.
So that's my basis for this decision.
Sal, I got all the respect in the world for you. I truly do, my man.
Yes, sir.
You're not going to be the ultimate cowboy,
That's all right.
but you are an incredible cowboy.
Yes, sir.
My hat's off to you.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
good luck in everything you do from here on out.
Yes, sir.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Pack your personals. Hit
Good luck,
the trail.
guys.
Sal.
See you,
All right,
Sal.
good luck. I think Chase did make a mistake. Just because I'm not speaking up and having a loud mouth, I've kept my cool. I've been where I needed to be, and I've done everything they've asked me to do. Being a cowboy, you're not supposed to be out there yelling all the time, and that's what I am. I'm a true cowboy, and I'm doing it with one hand. And so, you know, I came here to bring some cattle home to my family, for my kids. I'm still gonna get it done. It might take me a little bit longer, but you know what? I'm gonna get there, and that's all that matters.
Good hand. I think every one of y'all tip you at the Sal.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you.
That's a good man.
You know, chokes me up a little bit. I mean, what that guy's had to overcome, you know, to do what he does and hang in there with you guys for as long as he has.
Yes, sir.
That's a good man. All right, a few weeks ago, there were 14 top-notch cowboys here. We're down to 4.
That's right.
Cream of the crop. That's you guys. You're all really good hands. And for the next couple of days, we're gonna figure out who the ultimate cowboy is. So try to get some rest, try to get some sleep. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes,
See
sir.
you, sir.